I thought I would try that because I enjoyed the kids while I was teaching anyway, and I thought this could be something for them to learn and experience from too. Uh, so that's the major answer to that.
How did you feel after you sort of let it
It
out
was like
almost?
a total life change. The minute I finished that class, and I wanted to do some more, because I just thought it could help that many more people.
Right.
And I do that even today with, some of them are my age too. When we talk about it, we just say how thrilled we are that we could have helped the way that we did, and it changed our lives and made us appreciate the day-to-day living and
Well,
doing things for people.
could you talk a little bit about that a little bit more? How you feel about having come through that experience? You say, gee, I really feel like I want to appreciate every day, or what what changed in you for the better, or what perspective on life did you take out of your service?
Well, I think when I say dealing with people, it made it a lot easier for me to deal with people, because as soon as I started the teaching, which was the physical ed and the health ed, those are things that are personal with people, about your fitness and about your overall health. And also I thought it was something that would teach them a way of living, to appreciate how much they're getting out of life here without struggling in such dangerous situations.
Right. Right.
And I think it helped me also when I got out of the military when I started to attend Boston University and then the University of Michigan to get my master's. It made me want to learn.
Did you feel like you had to, after having come in through combat and then survived, did you feel like you had to make something of the chance you were given because you came through combat?
I did. I think you're correct in asking that question. I just appreciated that I was still alive, and you want to do so many more things for people. And I think it helped me with my teaching, basically. I enjoyed the coaching so much, and I still know so many of them. They're either living in in Westwood still, some of them. So I have had that kid and his kid, and so it's my great grandfather says hello, that kind of thing to me, which I love.
Right. Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it gave you an appreciation for.
See the loss of life on both sides, but what was it like to maybe someone you had met in your company, one of your friends, to see them injured in the battlefield and to know they may not make it, or that they needed serious help on the battlefield?
I think that's more devastating. As much as you feel badly about anybody in a bad health situation where you think they may not make it, it's something that stays with you the rest of your life, and it depends on how you deal with it, whether it really lasts forever or you just kind of settle down and, it's still there, but it's not bothering you as much. But when it's somebody you've made a friendship with, either going to the hospital medical school together, being in the same unit of dog company, and that's even more difficult because you've kind of bonded, and just to see them killed or to be treating somebody and knowing they aren't going to make it, that's very devastating. Very devastating.
Very, very difficult. The Korean War was often thought of or spoken about as the forgotten war between World War II and the Vietnam War. I think in recent years it's become remembered again. Did you feel that somehow for a number of years that the Korean War was a forgotten conflict in America's history?
Absolutely. It was. I don't know how many years, but they definitely have done a lot more. And not only with the monuments and stuff they've done in Washington, and with the things that the Korean government has done in sending us things to thank us for all we did for their people. So I think it's much more appreciated now.
No question, I think, yeah, definitely. And books are written about it. They're popular.
I got a lot of books.
Right.
Yes, I got a lot of them.
Right. Right. Why do you think you became a corpsman? Is it something, did you choose it, or did they choose it for you, or?
I think when I initially signed up, I had been talking, they had said, well, what do you think you plan to do after your military, you know? And I said I was interested in maybe becoming a doctor. I was very interested in that. And they said, well, I think this would be a good place for you to go as a medic. And as it turned out, I think I really did appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But you didn't become a doctor after?
no, I did not.
You'd seen enough blood, I guess.
Yeah, I think the teaching was, that I had a good friend who went to Boston University with me, who actually went to the Westwood schools. And he was telling me about I had moved into Westwood, and there were job applications for the Westwood school system. And so he was talking about the health and physical ed, and he says the health talks a lot about, you know, health type things. He said that would be nice. So we both applied, and here he was, the townie that lived here, and I came from Medford, and I got the job. So we're still good friends. We're still good
Didn't
friends.
hold it against you.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you think you went into teaching after your service because of giving something back, or of something that you had felt during your service that compelled you to go into teaching?
I don't know if that's a definite or not. I would say I was involved with sports in high school, and I knew that there would be a chance to coach, and coaching I always liked. So I think the coaching part probably was what led me toward it, and you get a lot of contact with people when you're coaching. And I think that's one of the things I've at least heard from all the former students and athletes, is that I was a good listener. And I didn't jump to a judgment, right? And I think you learn that from the military. And because I appreciated life so much, I think that's kind of shared with them. They kind of felt that too.
Right. I'll go back to your service again. In the combat experience that you had, the experience that during the invasions and such, and the combat experience from veterans from World War II and Vietnam, I think there's a bond, a camaraderie that folks who've been in combat share. And I saw it when we went down to the dedication of the World War II memorial, and there was a lot of Vietnam veterans there and a lot of World War II veterans there. Do you feel some sort of special kindred spirits or other veterans who have been in combat, like the boys that are fighting today, having been in combat yourself?
Oh, absolutely. I belong to the VFW and Veterans of Foreign Wars and the American Legion, and there are people there who were longtime military people. So there is a bond, there's no doubt about it.
Right.